this is one of, if not the most popular videos that have been recommended so far. This one and the actual video of this. So I'm going to obviously watch this first. I'm going to watch the making of the song. I don't know. I was trying to decide which would make more sense. Watching the song done in animation at a completed stage, or watching the making and then watching the completed stage. Because I feel like watching the making of it would make sense first. Otherwise, you're just going to watch the completed thing and it's not going to be as impressive as you see it. Like, you know what I mean? It's not the same if you start from the beginning and you start with like a concept and then you build off of it, and then you go and you build lyrics, and then vocals and instruments are added, and then you put animation to it, kind of like they did. Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with the D&D Beyond campaign that Sam Riegel did. I reacted to that. Go back and look at it. I reacted to that like 2 days ago. Sam Riegel did the D&D Beyond campaign. He sang this catchy little jingle on the Campaign 2 show, I believe, the live stream they do. And then D&D Beyond put a little animation to it and ended up becoming their thing, and it looked amazing. So it's going to be something like that. And honestly, when I saw it in that order, it made it more exciting as well. Because when I watched that one, Sam Riegel pitched his jingle like it was just a thought, an idea, and it probably was. And then they do a follow-up and they're like, guess what? And I'm thinking, oh, cool. They probably said, that was a really good song you wrote. We're going to team up with you and do something with it. And little did I know they already did. They made up a whole animation with it, and Sam and everybody were all quite thrilled about it. I mean, it was a surprise to them too. And that was before, I believe, the whole Vox Machina thing caught on with the campaign, with the Kickstarter and everything else. So everybody has been wanting me to react to this. This is the one I'm going to do. I believe this song is in The Legend of Vox Machina, hence why the name is on the image of her belting out greatness. But I feel like I was told that the animation that it's to, that I'm going to watch after this, is to Campaign 2. So maybe they wrote the song for Campaign 2, but they're going to use it in Vox Machina. That's what I am assuming, which would make sense to me. You wrote a song for a campaign you did on YouTube, and then you make $11 million doing an animated show. I would put that song in that $11 million animated show, because obviously you want greatness to be all together. So if you make greatness in animation, you want to put it all together. And Laura Bailey's amazing. Look at her going nuts. Like, that's amazing. She's a good, great, beautiful person. We're going to have a shot, and then I'm going to watch this. I've been waiting all day to have a shot. I had a beer. Look at this, guys. These are delicious. I don't sponsor them or anything, but they're freaking delicious. And I got a nice little cup of bourbon. Cheers to the Vox Machina Critical Role fandom that has been watching all of the videos. I've been putting videos out 3-4 a day, trying to at least. Sometimes I miss days because I got work and stuff. But I feel like we're going to be close friends for the next month or so. While this show continues and I keep learning more about the world, I might jump into Campaign 2 and start watching along. I'm going to put a hold to level 17 Battle Royale, because a lot of people told me you might get spoiled about some big things. So I'm going to put a hold to that. I'm also waiting on the Kickstarter Q&A video, because I'm told there's a spoiler in that. So when you guys tell me where it is, I will just skip that part of the Q&A and I'll react to that video too. You guys want me to react to anything else? You let me know. Otherwise, cheers, my friends. I just love this shit. They're like these little blue machines. You guys want to see more of what I do? Full-on edited reactions, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, and hundreds of exclusives only on Patreon. Check the link at the end. If not, here we go, guys. This is the making of Your Turn to Roll. Oh my God, that got loud. Whew. I should have known better. I didn't know she was involved too. Or how many of them are involved? That's awesome. And guys, I did not know that was the little girl from Growing Pains. Somebody or multiple people. Holy shit, I grew up with that. She's a little girl.
The theme song for The Legend of Vox Machina.
What? He wrote it?
Actually, the way that happened was me asking Sam, "Hey, you made that jingle for D&D Beyond."
It was because of that. That's hilarious.
Other, stuff flying around in your brain.
How
and
fitting
he
that I
sent me
watched
back
that.
An a cappella version of the song that he recorded one night at 11:30 after his kids went to bed, and it blew my mind.
Okay, here's an idea. Very basic.
So Sam's a genius.
The beat is like
Sam's a
there will be drums.
That's what he was doing with the D&D
The vocals
Beyond.
are something like, the adventure begins. They will always beside you.
Taking my initial demo and turning it into like a really cool song, which it is. It took a while, actually. We needed real instruments because the first demo was just me singing at an iPhone. So we turned to our friend Jason Charles Miller, who did the original composition of the original theme song.
My God.
Well, it's funny because Sam called me and he said, hey, I took your theme and I wrote lyrics to it and I put a melody over top of it. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. Let me hear this. And he sent me this tape of him just going like, you know, roll, roll, critical, critical, like just him all a cappella.
Oh, is that what that's saying?
But when I heard it, I said,
I
okay,
heard
cool.
that
We
in
can
something
add this
else.
Here, we can do that there. We can put the original melody back in here. And then we had fun just going back and forth with it.
Then we had even more players play on it. So we got a violinist named Cole McGinnis. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong.
McGinnis?
Violin
I had to
for
drink
it.
a beer.
And we
Guys,
did
it's got to be
some
subliminal.
drum
I
work.
literally was
We
like
got,
drinking.
my brother-in-law, Peter Habib.
Oh, we
the
saw him.
producing duo, Mr. Fantastic. They put in some
D&D Beyond,
thumping drums.
Peter
and we
Habib.
just kept kind of pinging the song around to all of these creators.
And then when it came time to do vocals, we had a bunch of different passes, and we were like, you know what, we really need the ladies on this. It would sound incredible if Ashley and Laura would sing on it.
Travis was the one that actually asked me if I would be down to sing it. And I, of course, was very, very nervous, but you know, it was fun. And I only got a little awkward when I was in the booth, no big deal, because like Travis was sitting right there, and like I can look like an idiot in front of Sam, but for some reason I get really uncomfortable.
I was going to say, like, how could any of, we were talking
sent
about
a
this in
feeler out
another
to our
video.
fantastic
How could
friends over
any
at
of them
Out
get
Loud
nervous
Audio.
in front of each other
Amazing
after
Mark
all this?
Kondracki was kind enough to give us some studio time.
I mean,
to let us
hey,
record that in one of the bigger spaces. And I think Ronan was just born, so Laura was in there holding little baby Ronan while she was laying down those sick vocals on the song.
I don't even remember how old he was. I think he was only like, I want to say like 2 months old, maybe, when we were
Oh my God, she's
I think
literally-
he was younger. And he started crying when we were recording it.
We only had the studio for like an hour, and it just had to. It worked out that Laura had to feed her baby while she was singing the song.
Oh my
What's weird
God,
is
that's
I think
hilarious.
those
So
were
they
the
recorded.
takes that we ended up using for the song, because for some reason, like focusing on that made it way more comfortable to actually do the singing.
I don't know if any
That's hilarious. Suckling sounds.
made it onto the track. That will be cut.
That,
Anyway,
When we were
leave it. That is
recording it,
nostalgia. It's like Adventure Time.
more rock and roll go as over the top as you could think, because I guess I'm used to singing like nicer sounding, sweeter sounding, and Sam wanted it like I want grit. And then he takes me to that.
I don't know if I've ever heard it all the way through, but
and
I've
then
definitely
when
heard
Ashley
parts of it
recorded,
in other
she
things.
came over to my house actually, which is a much smaller booth, and she laid down her vocals late at night after she had been doing a video game job all day. I think she must have been exhausted, but she didn't seem like it because she just killed her side of the vocals as well. And I recorded her, and lickety split, we were done.
Yeah, Sam, you know, when we were talking about the roles and the criticals, he was like, hey man, I pitched my voice down. You got a deep voice. Do you want to go in and do it? And I was like, no, I love it the way it is. He's like, no, come on, let's really go in there. So my contribution to the piece was actually going into the booth and
Which one
bouncing
did-
as I did it, going, roll, critical, roll. And trying to sound
And he,
as,
look at him,
tough and
he
determined as I could,
feels
even
so,
though I could
he
see
like
all of them
feels
laughing
silly.
faces as I bounced up and down like a little baby.
I was going for like a little bit of a retro vibe for the lyrics. I knew that one of the motifs we were going to try to do was just sort of like, you know, the chance of it all, like taking a chance, you know, putting
it's to Vox Machina,
the fate in your own
but
hands,
I was
like deciding your
told
fate. Like that's
it was
that's a cool
technically
element
campaign
of
too,
our
and obviously
game.
they're going to use it.
And Critical Role is just like, you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know where the story's going to lead, so you just kind of have to go for it.
I think the thing that sticks out the most is the roll the dice part of it, because Vex was always one to take chances. But I don't know. Daggers and Cunning is pretty freaking cool that we took it there. Just that little change, that made me pretty happy.
I think the lyrics for Your Turn to Roll embody really sort of the spirit of our early home game, which is like a bunch of friends getting together, being nerdy as hell, rolling some dice, not really caring
so weird.
what comes out of your mouth or who's watching.
Not even
or,
10 years,
or
8
what
years
other people
ago.
think of you. You know, you're going to take on brave, courageous personas, try and right wrongs or maybe cause wrongs, depending on what your character is, and just jumping into that adventure and letting yourself go. And when the time comes, roll the dice and see
They
what
keep
happens.
showing that
It's an
beast.
adventuring party for a reason, right?
Why do I feel like that could be like the end of the season or something? I hope it's not, because I want to see that thing in action. All right, guys, so that was a little interesting tidbit into the world of the making of Your Turn to Roll, the song that they're going to use for The Legend of Vox Machina, but I feel like was being used for something else. We're going to find out in the next video, because the next video is me watching this song put to animation, and I believe it's the intro to the second campaign or something like that, the Mighty Nine, and it looks like German, like nine. So I don't know if that is the case or I'm pronouncing it wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. Either way, this was interesting, but I'm actually surprised that they showed and played so little of the song itself. They kept redoing the same parts, but maybe this was like still secretive or something, because I feel like at this point they already had a full version of the song and everything going on. Maybe they redid the vocals and stuff. Maybe the one I'm gonna watch with the animated show is a different version. I won't know until I watch it, but I feel like it's the same version, both sung by Laura Bailey. I didn't realize Travis was doing the roll, critical roll, or whatever the heck he says, something like that. I feel like I've heard this song enough times to know that part and the first part. I've heard the first part. The da-da begins. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I know that. I feel like I've heard that 1,000 times, but just like that and the roll, critical roll, unless I might have heard the song all the way through once or twice in one of these videos, I can't remember. The fact I can't remember makes me think I haven't heard it in full yet, but I'm surprised that this video didn't play it in full. I thought they would show us like a whole making of behind the scenes and then show us it in full, maybe not to the animation, but her singing it. They showed very limited shots of the song itself, which leads me to believe they're trying to keep it somewhat under wraps, but that's interesting. I don't know. It'll make more sense when I watch the next video, but it was interesting to see Ashley Johnson, the voice of Pike, was part of the song as well. Travis did the whole roll, critical roll. Interesting. The most surprising to me was that Sam wrote the song again. I was saying at the beginning of this how Sam just wrote a little jingle for D&D Beyond, and his brother was involved in that as well. And now he's like, yeah, so I wrote a song and then I got this other guy that was a composer and I put it to his song. Not that I'm taking anything away from Sam. The dude's a genius and he's talented and he's great and everything else. But I just, for my own curiosity's sake, would like to know, did he just write this and then get the composer, or did the composer already have this interesting instrumental piece written and then he kind of just like started writing words to it? The dude that was the composer too seemed really chill. So I'm just wondering if it's like somebody he's dealt with. He seemed like he was friends with him and he knew him enough to have been able to ask him and have a sit down and all this. So I feel like Sam must have known that other guy. I can't remember his name. The dude with the cowboy hat had like a beard going on and stuff, but he seemed like a cool dude. Everyone involved in this show seems like such down to earth, chill people. I haven't yet seen a person in any of these videos that are involved with the production and everything that are like, that guy kind of rubs me the wrong way or something. They all seem like people you'd want to chill with, have a beer with, play a 4-hour tabletop game with. I mean, guys, you gotta all in numbers go to Critical Role and say, have ViewMasters do a sit down with you guys in your campaign. No, I'm just joking. Don't do that. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I will embarrass myself. Maybe in like a year or two when I get the grip on it and everything, when I'm super famous and I'm traveling the world with my D&D band of brothers. But I'm going to jump into the actual song with the animation, which I believe is called the intro for the Mighty Nine. But I'm not sure about that right now. So I don't know. We'll find out when I do that. You guys got more recommendations, throw them at me. We'll be best of friends for the next month, so I have plenty of time to react to all of your requests while we do 3 episodes a week of The Legend of Vox Machina. You guys want to be way ahead, full on edited reactions of this and other shows I do, Patreon link in front of me. If you're seeing it on YouTube, we are seasons ahead on most shows and hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. The link's in front of me. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.